Hello, and welcome to the Keep Kids Safe 5% Challenge. My name is Elida Murray, and I'm the Executive Director of the Adams County Children's Advocacy Center. And first and foremost, we want to thank you for participating in the Keep Kids Safe 5% Challenge, because as you may have heard on our other social media and on our website, our viewpoint is that these are our kids in our community, and prevention is in our hands. So before we get started with the video, I wanted to take just a few minutes to talk to you a little bit about the work that the CAC does and why that's so important to our kids in our community. So here we go with that. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about who we are and what we do. Our vision is that we are the Children's Advocacy Center, promoting a vision in which children are safe, families are strong, and our child victims become children again. And towards that, our mission is to meet the needs of children and families in our community by providing a community-based, child-focused center that facilitates a compassionate, multidisciplinary approach to the prevention, identification, investigation, prosecution, and treatment of child abuse. So what that means in very simple terms is we are the nonprofit agency in our community, Adams County, Pennsylvania, that works together with all of the other first responders and people doing the work of helping to prevent child abuse, to investigate child abuse, working towards prosecution and treatment for child abuse survivors. So when we look at it from the Children's Advocacy Center perspective, you'll see that that the CAC, or the Children's Advocacy Center, is at the center of this, and we are working with all of these other entities. So we're starting at the top, but not necessarily in any particular order. We work with the district attorney's office. We work with all of our local law enforcement agencies. We work with our community's children and youth services, our Adams County Victim Witness Office, as well as medical services, mental health services, and most especially with, depending on the situation, we bring in others who can help us to provide what the child and the family needs in order to heal from the trauma of abuse. So that, in a nutshell, is the work that we're doing. Is we're working to coordinate all of those pieces, but first and foremost, we're here to advocate on behalf of the child and the family. And what I like to say is that our role is to walk with them from that initial outcry of abuse or neglect all the way through that journey towards healing. And so that would be the role that we serve within the Children's Advocacy Center. We have a team of 9 of us now, and comprised of child and family advocates, forensic interviewers. We have mental health therapists. We have an outreach and education and prevention educators, and all of us work together to be able to promote that concept of health and healing for child victims. But also most importantly, and the subject for today, is that we're working to prevent child abuse from happening in the first place. So when we talk about services in general, we lead first and foremost with child and family advocacy. Like I said in my previous statements, we are here to support the child and the family. But we also have specially trained forensic interviewers who are able to, and they're specially trained to provide legally defensible forensic interviewers, so the child victim doesn't have to tell of their experiences over and over and over again. That really lessens the amount of trauma that our children go through the investigative process. We also work with ped SANE nurses or sexual assault nurse examiners to do forensic medical exams when those are indicated. We have on-site mental health, which offers both individual and group therapy, and we also offer psychoeducational support groups for teens and adults. And then on the community outreach and prevention education side, we are very committed to doing a component of both in-person and virtual events like this today for our speaker series on Facebook Live, but also offering a ton of online resources at our website, which is www.kidsagaincac.org. We'd really love you to visit our website and see all of the information that we can offer you. But also on our social media, so you'll see a lot of information come out on our Facebook, our Instagram, and our X accounts, and we'd love for you to like those accounts and be able to give you that information and provide that information to you as well. And then finally, we do child abuse prevention education, actual prevention education training for both children and adults. and so that we can continue to, like I said before, prevent child abuse from happening in the first place. So a lot of questions people have. We think about it as Adams County. We're a relatively small county. We're a relatively cohesive county. Everybody knows everyone. Everyone exhibits a great deal of care and concern for each other and their neighbors. But what we need everyone to know that child abuse does exist in this community. So in 2022, as you can see, there were 364 reports of suspected abuse and 1,329 reports of suspected neglect here in Adams County. And that's based on information put out by the state in the Pennsylvania Child Protective Services report. They do that report every year. In 2022, at the same time, our center, our CAC, supported 249 child victims and their families. And so what that really means is, generally speaking, on an average year, we're seeing between 700 and 750 people come through our center, child victims and their families, their siblings, to be able to get the support they need to heal from the trauma of abuse. And at the same time, we are really committed to providing that community outreach and prevention education. So in 2022, that was 6,130 individuals served with prevention education and community outreach. And then in 2023, again, we supported 232 child victims and their families, but also provided community outreach and prevention education to 6,916 individuals. Again, prevention is in all of our hands, and that's why we're really committed to doing that work. So long story short, everyone deserves to live in a community where children are safe and families are strong. But the impact of child abuse can have lifelong traumatic consequences for its survivors. But we, as adults, can prevent abuse. So just 5%. Experts believe that when 5% of adults learn about child abuse prevention, that's the tipping point to reducing child abuse in our community. So thank you for watching this video, which will come on next, and thank you for being one of the 5%.
Hi, I'm Crystal Long, mom of 2 small children, forensic interviewer, and proud child abuse prevention educator at the Adams County Children's Advocacy Center. Welcome to the Kids Safe 5% Challenge. Recognize, react, respond. Each year, I visit every school district in Adams County teaching kids how to stay safe from abuse. Annually, over 4,500 Adams County kids learn the important safety rules. I am so proud of these kids. They are doing everything they can to learn how to stay safe. Now, we are asking you, the adults, to learn to recognize, react, and respond to suspected child abuse and keep kids safe. Did you know that experts believe when 5% of adults learn about child abuse prevention, that is the tipping point to reducing child abuse in our community? We know that hearing and talking about abuse is not comfortable, but it's so important. Thank you for being one of the 5%. Please recognize, react, and respond.
Hi, I'm Jeff Franks. I'm a husband, father, grandfather, township police detective, and proud volunteer for the Adams County Children's Advocacy Center. I hope you will agree that all children deserve to have a childhood free from abuse and victimization. Here are the 3 R's to protecting our children: recognize, react, respond. As adults, we think we know how to keep kids safe, who and what to watch out for. Let's dispel the myths. Myth number 1, child abuse only happens in certain types of families, neighborhoods, or parts of our community. Myth number 2, children are always victimized by strangers. Myth number 3, children usually tell someone they are being abused. Myth number 4, children with disabilities are less likely to become victims of abuse than children without disabilities. Those are the myths. Here are the facts about the prevalence of abuse in our Adams County community. Fact number 1 in 7 children are victims of abuse, and last year in Adams County, 379 child line reports alleging abuse were made. Fact number 2, last year, 232 child victims were supported by the Children's Advocacy Center, and 24% of these children had suffered multiple forms of abuse. Fact number 3, Over 90% of child victims know and trust their abuser. In fact, 95% of the children who visited the Children's Advocacy Center last year knew their abuser. Fact number 4, 38% of child victims supported by the Children's Advocacy Center last year were identified as having physical, cognitive, or mental disabilities. These facts should guide our actions to keep children safe. Remember, recognize, react, respond.
Hi, I am Irene Powell, wife, mother of 7, and proud board member of the Adams County Children's Advocacy Center. Recognize, react, respond. Now that you've heard the myths and facts about child abuse in our community, learn how to recognize abuse. Recognizing abuse starts by minimizing opportunity. Remember, more than 90% of all children who are victimized know their abuser. First, it is important to eliminate or reduce isolated one-on-one situations between kids and adults. Do this by screening caregivers through background checks and reference checks. Second, recognize grooming behaviors. People who sexually abuse children are predators who often groom both children and their family members. They become friendly with potential victims and their families, participating in family activities, earning trust, and gaining time alone with children. Third, physical abuse is most often perpetrated by parents, caregivers, and other family members. Fourth, monitor internet and smartphone use. The internet can be a very unsafe place for children and teens due to adults using it to lure and groom. Other signs to recognize. Be aware that in some children, there are no signs whatsoever of abuse. Signs don't always mean abuse is occurring, but should be a reason to pay attention to what is happening in a child's life. Trauma is often the root of what we call difficult or bad behavior and can be a sign something is happening to that child. If you see physical signs that you suspect are abuse, report it to 911 immediately. Remember, recognize, react, respond.
Hi, I'm Cedric Esquivel, Adams County resident, victim advocate, and proud board member of the Adams County Children's Advocacy Center. Recognize, react, respond. There are 3 situations where we need to react to child abuse. 1, a child discloses abuse to us. 2, we discover the child abuse ourselves. And 3, we have reason to suspect a child is being abused. Now, we hope that no child has to tell you about abuse, but if a child is brave enough to come to you for help, please react responsibly. Why our reactions are important? Well, our reaction can help the child remain calm without adding feelings of shame, guilt, or embarrassment. We should always respond to a child in distress with patience and sensitivity when asking what's going on. How to respond? When a child discloses abuse to you, it means that the child has chosen you as a trusted adult they can tell. First, give the child your full attention, compassion, and belief. Don't overreact with anger, shame, embarrassment, sorrow, sadness, etc. Next, remain calm to help the child feel more comfortable. It is critically important that you be patient as they're explaining what happened without prying for too many details. Specific, in-depth details should be left to the professionals. Finally, offer your support, but don't make promises. Instead, thank the child for being so brave and let them know you are going to work to get help. If the child is in immediate danger, call 911 and always report your suspicions to Childline, 1-800-932-0313. Your call is confidential. Remember, recognize, react, respond.
Hi, I'm Elida Murray, proud Executive Director of the Adams County Children's Advocacy Center. By now I'm sure you realize how simple but important it is to know how to prevent child abuse in our community. Recognize, react, respond. You can make a difference. Remember, talk to the children in your life about safety regarding their body, their online interactions, and what to do if something worries them. And let the children in your life know that you are a safe adult they can rely on. Report abuse to Childline when you see it or suspect it at 1-800-932-0313. You only need to suspect abuse. You do not need to investigate or confirm the abuse. The Adams County Children's Advocacy Center is dedicated to a community in which children are safe and families are strong. We work to prevent child abuse and to support children and families who have been impacted by the trauma of abuse. To learn more, please visit our website, www.kidsagaincac.org.
Hi, we are the proud staff of the Adams County Children's Advocacy Center. Thank you for taking the Kids Safe 5% Challenge, and thank you for protecting Adams County kids. Remember, recognize, react, respond. Thank you.
Now you know how to recognize, react, and respond to child abuse. We want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video and to remember our community, our kids, prevention is in our hands. We encourage you to visit our website, which is www.kidsagaincac.org. Like us on social media. We hope to see you again. Thank you.